Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business. Ah!
So Spider-Man on the PS4 looks absolutely incredible. At Sony's E3 conference, we got to see a main story demo, which looked absolutely awesome. And then on the shop floor, there was actually a full playable demo, which showed a little bit more of the open world, what's on offer around Manhattan and that kind of thing. Every single thing I've seen about this game has made me super excited. I actually would say that this is probably one of the best games that we saw at E3. This game looks so polished, so ready, and I can't wait to jump in and play it. I would say that this Spider-Man game is the game we deserve. It looks like it has the potential to beat Spider-Man 2 as my all-time favorite Spider-Man game. So I say for me, Spider-Man 2 has always been my favorite, just in terms of the web slinging and the open world exploration. I really enjoyed Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions for a couple of game dynamics, mainly involving stealth and the Spider-Man Noir sections. I really enjoyed those, but I've got to say that the new Spider-Man game from Insomniac Games just looks absolutely incredible. If you are a fan of Spider-Man, this really is the game for you. So the game is set to come out on September the 7th. It is by Insomniac Games, and this is the team that brought us Sunset Overdrive. I think that this is the game that every Spider-Man fan deserve or have been waiting for, and here are a few of the reasons why I think so. So firstly, number one, it is not an origin story. So like many Spider-Man fans, I have been incredibly bored with them constantly retelling the origin story of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Well, in the latest Spider-Man game set to come out in September, that is not the case. Instead, we're going to actually get to play a Spider-Man and a Peter Parker that is older and has been doing the job of Spider-Man for about 8 years. Peter is in his early 20s. He has graduated college and is actually starting his first job. It is a human story, so while we play the majority of the game as Spider-Man, Insomniac Games have confirmed that we are going to play a few sections as Peter. So I'm really interested to see what story they're going to come out with. We have seen some spoilers in terms of we've seen Miles Morales there, so I hope we get to see Miles Morales as Spider-Man. I hope we get to see Peter sort of take him under his wing and train him a little bit. I think that would be really awesome. But the fact this is not an origin story has got me super excited. The second thing is the open world and sheer size of the game. So at the open demo at E3 on the shop floor this year, we got to see New York City and Manhattan. They actually climbed up to the top of the Empire State Building, and oh my god, Manhattan looks absolutely incredible. New York City is huge and vast, and we are told that it is the biggest open world game that Insomniac Games have ever made, and that every square inch of New York is traversable, which in itself is an incredible feat. Effectively, they're calling it the superhero playground, in that you'll be able to explore every part of it. You'll be able to swing from every building, interact with every building, and it looks incredible. Now, given the sheer size of New York and the sheer size of the open world, of course you need to fill that open world with content. We all enjoy swinging around, and it looks incredibly relaxing and fun and enjoyable, but we do need things to do in this huge open world, and I've got to say, everything I've seen, it looks like this world is just full of content and full of things to do. So obviously we're going to have the main story that we progress through. Now, as we progress through the main story, apparently this is going to change New York, and the city is going to sort of change with you as you progress through the story. So it will open certain side quests and certain activities to you as well. There are heaps of side quests to do. There's a dynamic crime system which looks really fun, and this when you do solve crimes, this will give you tokens which will allow you to unlock certain gadgets, upgrade certain gadgets, unlock particular suits and abilities, and of course there are tons of collectibles in this world as well. The third point with this game is the web slinging. The web slinging in this game looks just phenomenal. It looks so incredible. It looks so fluid, so smooth, fast. There are perch points I think you can sort of leap and jump off of. The swinging just looks so natural, and the animations look absolutely incredible, from sort of when you're sort of getting back up into the air from the ground to sort of, you know, leaping off of tall buildings, swinging between buildings. It looks incredible. I haven't seen web slinging that looks this great, and I haven't got my hands on with this game yet, but I can imagine that it just feels incredible. And part of my enjoyment of Spider-Man 2 was the feeling of web slinging between buildings, and Insomniac Games said that this is one of the key things that they focused on, that they wanted to make sure that the web slinging was perfect, that it felt great, and that every web that you shot out connected with a building. So none of those webs in the air, guys, but it just looks amazing. It looks so good, and I'm super excited to check it out. The next thing, of course, is the combat. The combat in Spider-Man looks just amazing and so much fun, and just really exciting. It's very clear that this game has been influenced and inspired by the Batman Arkham games. They did also say that they took some inspiration from Devil May Cry as well. And the whole ethos of the combat system is that Spider-Man is an acrobatic improviser. So he will use his webs, his gadgets to his advantage. He'll use the environment. He'll jump up and sort of swing up into the air with his enemies, juggle them in the air, jump off of walls. Obviously you've got the Spidey sense in terms of like doing leaps and acrobatics and dodging, and it just looks incredible. What I really love though were the use of the gadgets that you can use in the middle of combat. So you can pause the screen, I think you press and a wheel comes up, a gadget wheel, and then you can select, I think, between 3 gadgets to use in the heat of combat. Those gadgets we saw were web bomb, web shooter, and trip mine. Trip mine looks just brilliant. It looks really fun. We do know you can get other gadgets as well, so maybe you can only equip 3, and you pick and choose which gadgets you obviously prefer. We have also seen something called a focus bar. Apparently this bar is filled in response to the flow of your sort of combat and your traversal. So as you're stringing combos together, and you know, if the flow is very good and maintained, this will fill your focus bar. And once your focus bar is full, you can either use this to take down an enemy instantly, or to heal if you need to heal in combat as well. You can also customize Spider-Man. You use tokens to do this. So these tokens you get through doing side quests in the world. These tokens can be used to unlock particular suits. Spider-Man Noir was mentioned, and I know the suit in Infinity War is also in there as well. What I really love is every suit has its own power or its own superpower. So we got to see one of those, which was called Web Blossom, which looked really cool, where sort of Spider-Man jumped up into the air, spun around and started shooting out webbing, obviously, and took down a room and like a huge number of enemies. We do know that you can actually pick and choose between suits, and you can remove powers and transfer them to other suits, so they're completely customizable. As well, you can craft and update gadgets as well. So I can't wait. I think it's going to be one of my goals is going to be to collect every suit that is available in this game, and we are told there are a lot of suits available, so I have got my work cut out for me. The next thing is humor. I'd say this is probably while web slinging is the most important, I would say humor is the second most important thing with a Spider-Man game. Getting the humor right is key. It is so important to get the humor just right for Spider-Man. It's one of the things that makes him really likable and makes him stand out as a hero, is that his sense of humor and the fact that he's quite human in how he reacts to things and how he interacts with the villains and the banter and the quick one-liners and that kind of thing. So I think them getting the humor is very important, and they have to make sure that humor lands. The little bit of humor that we've seen so far at the moment seems okay. A few of them have seen a little bit forced, but obviously we're taking them out of context of a main story. so hopefully it will flow better in the writing and in the course of the story. What I do like with the humor though, and sort of capturing Spidey's character, is the fact that you can actually interact with NPCs in the world. So if you go on the ground, you are able to interact with people on the streets, and they'll respond to you. So you can like give them high fives, you can salute, you can wave, and you can even take selfies with them as well, which should be quite amusing. So I think humor is key, and hopefully they're going to get that right. And the final thing that anyone would look for in a good Spider-Man game has got to be villains and boss fights. In the Sony E3 conference demo, we did get to see that there are going to be a lot more villains than have been previously announced. So we have confirmed that Rhino, Vulture, Electro, Scorpion, and obviously Mr. Negative, one of the main villains in the game, they are going to be in there. On the demo on the shop floor, we got to see the Shocker, and we got to see a boss fight against him as well. The fight looked okay. My only concern with the boss fights is that they're going to become a little bit repetitive, a little bit predictable, and not that challenging. So I like boss fights that have stages to them, and as you sort of progress through the first stage, the boss actually starts to adapt to you and use new techniques and new movesets, and you have to obviously adapt to that. So I'm hoping we'll get some boss fights like that. But yeah, I love the villains in the Spider-Man universe, so I am very much looking forward to seeing what other villains are going to be in there. Maybe if we're going to have Doc Ock in there, are we going to have the Green Goblin in there? It'd be great if we actually got like some of the companions for Spider-Man as well. So I would love it if we had like Black Cat in there. I think that would be really cool. And I love her kind of relationship with Spider-Man and the banter that they have. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a lot more characters that we all know and love from the Spider-Man universe. But that's pretty much everything sort of that we know about Spider-Man, and all the things that I really love, and all the reasons why I think this is the Spider-Man game that we all deserve and that we have all been waiting for a very long time. And these are some of the reasons that I'm super hyped for this game. I am definitely going to be getting this game day one. Actually, one of my subscribers, very generous subscriber by the name of Big Boss, who won one of my game giveaway competitions, has offered to buy this game for me. So I'm actually going to be doing a full playthrough of this game and dedicating it to him for being super generous and amazing to donate this game to the channel. So absolutely, we'll be playing Spider-Man in September. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And obviously I'll be getting a review out to you guys once I've completed it as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed E3. I hope you guys are excited for Spider-Man. Let me know what you guys think of this game in the comment section below. I'll be back again with more videos all week long, so please look forward to those. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye, guys.